Hey, Shalom, Hakim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick lesson through the Spirit. It says, Washington prepares for the shutdown that was never supposed to happen. Well, I beg to differ because the scriptures goes into a permanent shutdown of the province of Babylon, aka America. Okay, Babylon the Great, aka America, the great whore, will come to a permanent end upon Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's arrival to the planet Earth to gather the elect. And we're seeing the beginning of the end. Well, I won't say the beginning, but we're at the end of this wicked satanic kingdom. So a government shutdown is just the least of your worries. Okay, but it says Congress has returned to Washington with the government shutdown less than 5 days away, and lawmakers are still scrambling for ways to avoid it. It says that wasn't supposed to be the case, but found out America hit $33 trillion in debt, I believe, like last Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so what do you mean that this wasn't supposed to happen? How long do you think you could continue to raise the debt ceiling before the other nations say, you know what, we're not deferring your payments anymore, or we're not going to sign off on your debt or buy your debt up anymore? This is why these bill collectors are trying to go crazy and taxing people to death, because they got to grab as much money and revenue as they can. But see, what they don't understand is that this is a failing economy, and no matter how much amount of physical dollars or physical cash that you have in circulation, that ain't going to do anything but further destroy the American economy, because the money that you're being pumping in circulation isn't backed by anything. And on top of that, the BRICS nations, which I believe their currency is set to go online at the beginning of the new year. Certain forecasters argue maybe November, but I think what I heard was January, sometime like the beginning of January of 2024, if I'm not mistaken. But they could have changed it, like Esau tries to hold on to his rulership. So with all these dates in mind, oftentimes Esau likes to throw the people for a curve. So if the date was originally to be November 1st, they probably changed it to like April 1st of next year, because they don't want people catching on to their shenanigans. But really, it's up to the Lord, man. But it says Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, the Democrat of New York, announced Tuesday that the Senate will vote today to start a debate on the bipartisan to stop gap spending bill for funding for Ukraine and disaster relief. It says even if the state is able to quickly pass the legislation, there's no guarantee House leaders will even schedule a vote on a measure. It reads, over the weekend, Senate Democrats and Republicans together worked in good faith to reach an agreement on continuing resolution that would keep the government open beyond September 30th, Schumer said on the Senate floor. But while for sure this bill does not have everything either side wants, it will continue to fund the government at present levels while maintaining our commitment to Ukraine's security and humanitarian needs, while also ensuring that the impact of natural disasters across the country begin to get resources they need. And that's folly, man, because for one thing, you have a humanitarian crisis right here in America. Are you looking at the homeless citizens you have, man? Okay, but you're so fixated, which we don't give a shit. You can do whatever the hell you want to do, because regardless, you're going down. If you send $1 to Ukraine and $1 billion to Israel, you still going down. So you can send all the money you want to these people. At the end of the day, you're still going down. But the average American, they're pissed off because you're sending, I believe like Ukraine asked for like another 40-something billion, some number I read. I can't recall it. Don't quote me verbatim, but I believe that they're going up for another couple of $1 billion in aid. I believe like the Ukraine was in New York, I believe this week, and they are proposing for more money, like 50 billion or some shit. And those numbers can be slightly exaggerated, but I know I heard numbers within the billions. So Salaki on that. But yet, you're funding the Ukrainians. You're sending them billions of dollars every month. You send Israel 6-7 billion a year, probably more than that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes multiple times a year. And then, you're spending how much? Damn near a fucking billion on a so-called migrant crisis. Okay, which that ain't no damn that's not a crisis. That's all done by design. Okay, the migrants that you see in this country, that's all done by design. Okay, to further implode it. That's gonna further collapse the economy because now I believe that they have like a particular bills or something like that that's supposed to get these people off the streets, and they supposed to house them or something, and then taxpayer dollars are being wasted on these so-called migrants, and then the money to Ukraine. So eventually inflation is set to hit America, man. Okay, and guess what? Your paychecks, our paychecks, they're getting ready to get a lot more shorter because energy is going up. Inflation is getting ready to increase to a whole nother level. And on top of that, they're getting ready to increase taxes again and raising the debt. I mean, raising the Fed. So you Americans, man, they didn't basically wash you dry, man. So the only solution for the Babylonian problem to these common folks is to start an insurrection against their own government, which they will do because that's in the scriptures. While you guys are sitting up there being stupid and going back and forth with your fellow American kind, we're going to be praising Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, watching from the sidelines, okay? And the Lord is going to take care of us. While you people pick each other off, the Lord is going to openly have those resources available for the elect, man. And I believe that. But it says, details of the bill have not yet been released, but it allows the Senate leaders to clearly communicate their priorities to the House Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, which told reporters he also wants to avoid a shutdown. It says delaying actions on short-term government funding doesn't advance the ball on many meaningful policies, McConnell said. Shutting the government down over a domestic budget dispute doesn't strengthen anybody's political decision. But it is unclear if the Senate could muster a sufficient support for a plan that includes additional aid for Ukraine or several recent U.S. public disasters like fires in Maui. Like that was all they done that too. That was all about design. Okay, that was a land grab. But it says a key objective for Democrats. Senator Ron Paul is among the senators who have said that they would not support legislation that includes an extremist, or it says extraneous money beyond the basic functions of keeping the government open. It says any Senate-led solution will require a unanimous agreement to move fast enough to avoid a shutdown. And even then, a deal will almost certainly require votes from House Democrats in order to pass. Okay, so this shit is really done. Okay, they're not going to, regardless of that, if they shut down or if they keep the government afloat, at the end of the day, America is going to be destroyed, man. Okay, because they're too far in debt to even really want to formulate any other dollars in circulation. So basically, they're just running out the remaining they have of this debt to the point they just going to collapse this system. And the system needs to collapse because it's, for one thing, it's corrupted. Okay, it's extremely flawed and it's corrupted. And the Lord is not dealing with it. He's tired of it, man. And so are we. Okay, so I just got a couple of precepts here, man. Nothing too big. But this is the book of Jeremiah 51, and I'm going to start at verses 8. It says, suddenly Babylon is fallen and destroyed. This Babylon is talking about America. Okay, when you look into the prophecies or you look into the commentator or the commentaries of these prophecies, you will know that Jeremiah 50 and 51 is strictly future prophecy, because there's no way in history that the ancient province of Babylon was ever destroyed. In fact, you still have inhabitants in that particular land, okay, known as Iraq today. Okay, so this is talking about future Babylon, which is America. And it says, suddenly Babylon is fallen and destroyed, and howl for her. Take bane for her pain, if so she may be healed, okay? And this is what they're attempting to do through these government shutdowns. They're attempting to bring some type of substance back to keep the government open. But as you was reading in the article, a lot of people that work for the government, mainly like the lower level workers, they're not going to get paid. But instead, they're going to get back pay for every day that they work. So basically, they would still clock out and they would still be on the payroll. But nonetheless, they won't get their checks, whether it's every week, 2 weeks, or once a month, until the government reopens, which that's causing a blow to people that work for the federal government. Because my reasoning with that would be, well, wait a minute. Why the hell can I get a paycheck, but yet y'all going to take taxes from me, though? I'm still paying tax. I'm still liable to pay taxes, but yet I can't get my money I work for every day. Show you how wicked this system is, man. Okay, and which proves that the federal taxes and just the tax system, period, is not even of the government, because if the taxes were really federal, if the taxes were really federal, they will actually opt out of paying an income tax during the time of a government shutdown, but yet we're still paying it, you know? So show you how wicked it is. But it says here, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. So forsake her and let everyone go into her own country, his own country. For our judgment reaching into the heavens and is lifted up even into the skies, man, okay? Because the Lord is sick of the wickedness. You know, you're more hell-bent on putting transgender vendors in office before actually solving the migrant or the homeless crisis you have in America, man. Okay, you have shit, what, 15 to 20% of the homeless population, man. They're like, you know what the hell with this shit, man. You know, you go out there to California and they have what they call tent city. Tents line up all over the highway, man. I mean, miles of tents and homeless people stretched along the roads in America. But yet you want to house so-called migrants that you're breathing over here, in fact, and you want to send billions of dollars to aid in Ukraine and the fact of war that you started, which the Russians are spanking you niggas over there, man. All right. So next precept here. This is the book of 2 Ezra 16, and I'm going to start at verses 37. It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of our birth, great pains compass our womb, which pains when the child coming forth, they slack not a moment. So, you know, the prophecies coming to pass is compared to women that's getting ready to give birth. Contraction pains, as they call it. And it says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth. And the world shall mourn and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Meaning this is going to be a global thing. Okay, because once America collapses financially as a superpower and as an economy, you're going to witness a global collapse, which is going to lead America into the Third World War. Because you got to understand, when you're not dealing with the Federal Reserve note, America is going to declare war on you. The West is going to declare war on you. Okay, because they need you to deal with their fiat currency in order to pillage your resources. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what Esau does. He takes, take. You know what I'm saying? And he wants to give you in exchange a fiat currency that's not backed by anything. So at the end of the day, when he decides to expose of you, your economy will be like Venezuela, man. Okay, literally eating flamingos and eating trash out of the compactors, man. That's why you don't hear nothing about Venezuela no more. But even then, doctors, prolific doctors, nurses, I'm talking about women that a man will pay to be with, you know what I'm saying, are out there selling a vajayjay for less than nothing, you know. And that's what happens when Esau Edom comes and set up central banks in your countries. But it says here, "O my people, hear my word and make you ready to thy battle, and even those evils be as pilgrims upon the earth." I mean, we gonna have to move around, bro. And he that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that bought as one that will lose. Because at the end of the day, we're gonna lose all this stuff, man. None of our material possessions, you know, our vehicles, our video games, our beds, our 75-inch TVs, our apartments. We're not taking none of this shit on the prowl with us, man. You know, like they show you in Disasters, Jake running outside with his PS5, man. Jake taking his flat screen TV. Like, nigga, show me where you can plug a TV up in the woods without an extension cord, man. Then we'll talk about, you know, all that other nonsense. You know? But regardless of that, it says, he that occupy merchandise is he that will not profit by it, and he that build it as he that will not dwell therein. So right now they're building, like overly building in Kansas City, and this is like one of the main reasons why inflation went up 17% here. You know what I'm saying? Because the overbuilding. Yet they're building all these particular luxury apartments, but nobody's going to be able to live in them because nobody can afford. Nobody can afford $5,000 a month for 600 square feet, man. Okay, that is complete goddamn madness. You know, and it says, and he that soweth as he that should not reap. So also he that planted the vineyard as he that should not gather the grapes. And they that marry as they that should not get no children. And they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain. Okay, and that's the point. You know, the government shutdowns, they ain't trying to do shit but delay the inevitable, which is destined to happen. So, hey, the American economy is pretty much through and is on its way out of here, man. Okay, and I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and the Baba. Shalom.
My name is Phil, and I'm an aviation mechanic. I would definitely recommend AIM to someone. Look at my...
Night at 6 with the federal government facing a possible shutdown this week. Channel 3 is trying to find out how all of this would affect you here in Connecticut.
Let's get right over to Chief Investigative Reporter Sam Smink, who is joining us at the Answer Desk. Sam.
Well, Mark, Aaron, the answer really depends on if you work for the federal government. If you do, you face the possibility of being sent home without pay until the government reopens. But we know federal workers aren't the only ones who will feel the effects. At 12:01 a.m. on October 1st, tens of thousands of federal employees could be without a paycheck if Congress does not pass a funding plan and shuts down.
That leads to a cascading effect across everything else that they have to pay for and fund. So putting food on the table, to paying their rent or their mortgage.
During a shutdown, essential workers in law enforcement or public safety, like air traffic controllers, are still expected to show up, but work without pay until the government starts up again. Those workers would then receive back pay once things open back up. On the travel side, some airports may experience disruptions and delays, and passport offices in certain areas could close. The U.S. Postal Service, Social Security payments, Medicare, and Medicaid would continue uninterrupted. The same goes for veteran benefits and veteran health care, according to the Veterans Administration. But the VA told us in a statement, we would not be able to conduct outreach to veterans. Our public-facing regional offices would be closed, and many regular operations like career counseling, transition assistance, and cemetery grounds maintenance would not be available. As for the economy,
as far as the impact to their everyday life, to the ordinary citizen, no, there's not a significant impact to your day-to-day. It's only if this shutdown or looming shutdown continues for an extended period of time, then you'll begin to see the ripple effects.
political experts say it is impossible to predict how long a shutdown will last. Currently, all eyes are on the Republican-led House, who need to approve 12 bills before passing the debate off to the Senate. Reporting in the studio, I'm Sam Smink, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.